In this video, you are going to see how to make your lead generation easier using ActiveCampaign. If you haven't signed up for ActiveCampaign yet, I'm going to leave a link down the description of this video where you can get your 14-day free trial.
Now, in our investigations up to this point, we've uncovered two golden rules when it comes to improving the customer experience. And those rules are know your customer and manage your customer's expectations. Now, in order to manage your customer's expectations, you have to have a customer. And in order to have a customer, you have to have had to generate a lead. Now, knowing who your customers are, what they care about, what problem that you solve for them, what they know about that problem, what questions they ask, the words they use to ask those questions, where they go to find answers, all that stuff. That's going to make it way easier for you to generate leads. Today's topic, we're focusing on, lead generation, how you can grow your list, how you can grow your audience. And it seems to be something that's always on everybody's mind. Businesses big and small are always focused on it, how to make it better, how to improve it. But it seems to be something that they haven't quite figured out ever. So is there anything in your mind that sticks out? Like what makes this topic, this big task so difficult?
Well, it is difficult. First of all, it's always been difficult. I've been in business a long time, mostly in B2B. And, it's always been hard. And I think it's even more difficult now because there's just not just so much business competition, but competition for attention. It's really, really hard to cut through the clutter and rise above the noise to be the signal.
So as we've heard, and probably as you've seen, anytime you enter a search on Google or log into a social media site or open your email inbox or even drive down the highway, there's a lot of competition from a lot of businesses for a lot of products, services, and offerings out there. So how do you cut through it? How do you get your message across to the right people?
How do you finish this sentence? Only we. Now, if they write down 5 different answers, we've got a problem. It shows they don't have a marketing strategy. They're not unified in even thinking about strategy. The company doesn't know what makes them distinctive. We don't know what to say. They don't know who to say it to. They don't know where to say it. So that's where it has to start. We deliver great service. My insurance company says that, my garbage collector says that, everybody says that. That's not an only we, that's an everybody says that. Talk to customers. I go, if I can visit them, that's the best. And I ask them, why do you buy from this company? Why do you trust them?
Right.
Why do you love them? And if you ask the right questions and you listen hard enough, they'll give you the answer. They'll fill out the end of that sentence, only we.
How can businesses who are struggling to figure out, where their audience is or where those groups of people are, how can they pinpoint their audience? Is there any strategies that you employ for that?
We live in an amazing time where, 30 years ago, it was really difficult to find those people. But today, we live in a world where like-minded people assemble onto little islands on the internet, right? So if you love sport fishing, if you love racquetball, if you love hats, if you love birds, there are lots of dedicated groups, on the internet. And I think the idea today is it's becoming increasingly difficult to drag people to your site.
If you're a business, how do you start to navigate that? Like, how do you begin to pinpoint, this is what we want to invest in, or these 3 or 4 or 5 different things? Where do you start?
Well, I think the goal would be you want to be a nonconformist. And what I mean by that is that marketers tend to flock to whatever's popular until they ruin it, right? So, you go to a big conference and they say, this is the year of Snapchat, and Snapchat's going to be the next Facebook. And everybody leaves the conference and they're all doing the same thing on YouTube or Snapchat or TikTok or whatever it is, right? That's not marketing. That's just following the crowd. Great marketing is being a nonconformist, not a conformist. So The most important word in marketing is maneuver. A lot of people think marketing strategy is so complicated because we have so many channels and so many options, but it's really not, because chances are our cards have already been dealt to us. Are we the market leader? Are we number two? Are we disruptor? Based on where we are in the marketplace, that's going to help determine the marketing strategy. Fortunately, so many marketers today, they just, want to catch the latest buzz and do what everybody else is doing. And that's really, it's lazy and it's not going to work. The world is just too crowded and too noisy to just copy everybody else. Is that 2/3 of our marketing is occurring without us. This isn't just my opinion. This is backed up by years and years and years of research by big companies. And I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. I think as the younger generation becomes the big buyers in our economy, that they don't trust businesses, they don't trust marketing, they don't trust advertising, they trust each other.
Right.
They trust their content, their reviews, their discussions, their friends, their families, influencers. So that 2/3, by 2030, that might be 90% of our marketing is occurring without us, right? So part of this is, look, we have a certain group of customers who love us. Let's reward them. Let's nurture them. But also, how can we incent them to help us join that 2/3? How can we earn our way into that narrative? Could we do something so memorable, so special, that people talk about us, that we've earned our way into those conversations? It's another big priority for marketing today. So I think really it's a combination of both. One is nurture people the way they want to be nurtured. Other people, they're going to want to engage with you in new and innovative ways. And that's a great way to earn your way into the conversations.
2/3 of your marketing is occurring without you. Where? How? Who's doing it? Your current customers, or those people who are engaging with you. People talk. It's what we do. We tell each other what we like. We tell each other what we don't like. We tweet about it, text about it, talk about it, leave reviews, write blogs, post pictures, and call up our cousins or our friends or our cousins' friends to tell them about it. And then what happens? Well, if the conversation is good for you, because you made a solid impression or created a good customer experience, well, congratulations, because you're getting a bunch of free marketing done for you. And not only is it free, but it's effective, because people trust other people. They trust reviews from strangers as much as personal recommendations, and they trust personal recommendations a lot. Now, you want to generate more leads? Your customer experience is a great place to start.